Hello, this video will walk you through the study guide for the linear relations test. Please keep in mind that although I am gone, the test will still be on Wednesday, December 7th. I will be back on Monday, December 5, and on December 5 and 6, we will be taking our winter version of the MAPS test. And then the linear relations test is going to be on Wednesday. Okay. If you have questions over the study guide that this video does not help you understand, then please make some time on either Monday or Tuesday to come see me when I'm back in town and in school, and that way I can answer your questions before you actually take the test on the 7th. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have for the study guide. Question number 1 says you are a volunteer for the school store. One of the most popular items is the strawberry banana orange juice. There are 2 local vendors that will deliver the juice to the school store at the beginning of every month. Healthy Drinks charges 39 cents per bottle with a delivery fee of $25. The Squeeze charges 0.18 or 18 cents per bottle with a delivery fee of $65. Which vendor offers a better deal if 240 bottles are purchased? Explain your reasonings. Okay, so for Healthy Drinks, it charges 39 cents per bottle. So for Healthy Drinks, it's 0.39, 39 cents multiplied by the number of bottles, which is 240, which gives you $93.60. Okay, then there's also the $25 delivery fee, so you'd have to add that delivery fee, which would give you a grand total for those drinks of $118.60. For the Squeeze, they charge 18 cents a bottle, so 18 cents times 240 bottles is $43.20. And then I want to add the delivery fee, which is $65 to that, which gives you a total of $108.20. So which juice vendor would be better if we were buying the $240? The Squeeze would be better. That's a Z. Would be better. Because it is cheaper. Right? Because $108.20 is less than $118.60. Okay, so question B asks you to complete the table for the values to show the cost of buying the juice at each vendor. So if we look at Healthy Drinks, right, that is 0.39 times the number of bottles plus 25. So I want to take 0.39 multiplied by the number of bottles, so that's 0, times 0.39 is 0, plus 25. So at Healthy Drinks, if you don't get any drinks for that month, you still have to pay the $25 fee. Okay? If you ordered 80 drinks, you'd multiply 39 cents times 80, and you'd get $31.20, and then you'd add the $25 delivery fee, so that would give you $56.20. If you bought 160 drinks, that would be 160 times 39 cents plus the $25 delivery fee, which would be $87.40. And then if you bought 250 drinks, multiply 250 by 39 cents, add the $25 delivery fee, and you get $122.50. Okay. The Squeeze, it's 18 cents a bottle, so it's 18 cents times the number of bottles, but the delivery fee is $65, so it's plus $65. So if we're looking at this in the yellow, right, my cost for the squeeze for 0 bottles would be $65. For 80 bottles, it'd be 80 times 0.18 or 18 cents, adding 65 to it. That would give me $79.40. For 160 bottles, it'd be 160 times 18 cents plus $65 delivery fee is $93.80. And then my last one, 250 bottles, 250 times 18 cents plus $65 delivery fee is $110. Okay. Part C asks you to graph or create a graph that represents the total cost for healthy drinks and the squeeze. Be sure to label which shop each line represents on your graph. Okay. So I want to graph those points. So if we go back to healthy drinks, 0 bottles cost $25. So that would be in there. 80 bottles cost $56.20. $160 bottles cost $84 or $87.40. Okay. And then 250 bottles cost $122.50. Okay, so then you should be able to take your pencil and your ruler, connect those, and label those healthy drinks. Okay, and then if we are going to graph the information for the squeeze, right? The squeeze costs $65 for no bottles, $79.40 for 80 bottles, $93.80 for 160 bottles, and then $110 even for 250 bottles. Okay, so then you can use your ruler to connect those. Okay, and then that would be the squeeze. Okay. So before we move on to the next page, I want to point out the point of intersection, which is approximately right here, right? Which is the point 190, 100. Okay, so part D asks you to estimate the number of bottles for the total cost are the same. Okay. The total cost or the number of bottles would be approximately when they are the same. Would be the approximately 190 bottles because it was a little bit before the 200. So approximately 190 bottles because that is about where the lines intersect. Okay, and then it says use the graph to determine the number of programs for which healthy drinks is more expensive than the squeeze. Healthy drinks is more expensive than the squeeze at more than 190 bottles. Because healthy drinks line is higher than the squeezes line. For more than 190 bottles. Okay, where the squeeze is more expensive is less than 190 drinks or bottles, because the squeezes line is higher than healthy drinks line for less than 90 bottles. Okay. Question number 2, consider the following table. Do the ordered pairs from the table form a straight line when plotted? Explain your reasoning. Right, in order to do that, remember you have to look at your x values to see if they're sequential or in order. So our x values are in order as we count 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So then we can use that to find the difference between them. So the difference between -6 and -3 is 3. Between -3 and 0 is 3. And between 0 and 3 is also 3. So is it linear? Is it linear? Does it form a straight line? Yes, because there is a constant slope. And that slope is 3, because that's what my difference is. Okay, looking at number 3, a taxi charges a pickup fee plus a charge per mile. Maria paid $9 for a 5-mile ride. Tony paid $12 for an 8-mile ride. Determine the y-intercept and write it in a coordinate form. Explain what the y-intercept represents in this problem situation. Write the equation for part B that represents the situation. Okay, so if we do this, we have to find, first step is finding the slope. So my 2 ordered pairs here are going to be 5, 9, because it's 5 miles for $9, and 8 miles for $12.75. So we label x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we substitute in the slope formula. M equals 1275 minus 9, right? y2 minus y1, and then x2, 8 minus x1, 5. So then we subtract. 1275 minus 9 is 375, and 8 minus 5 is 3. We simplify by 3. Okay, and if I divide 375 by 3, I get 1.25 over 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So my slope there is 1.25. Okay. Step 2 of finding the y-intercept is to pick a point. I'm going to use 5, 9, and I'm going to substitute it into y equals mx plus b. My y in that point is 9. My slope is 1.25. My x is 5, and then I have b. Okay, step 3 is to multiply. So 1.25 times 5. So I have 9 equals 6.25 plus b. And if I take away 6.25 from both sides, I get $2.75 equals b. Okay, so my y-intercept is the point 0, 2.75, and it represents 0 miles, costs $2.75. So my equation in y equals mx plus b slope-intercept form is y equals 1.25x plus 2.75, where y is the total cost and x is the number of miles. For number 4, it asks you to write the equation of the line using the given information. Okay, so the points 2, 1.5 and negative 5, 36.5 both lie on the line. Okay, there are lots of different ways that you could write that equation. Okay, the less time consuming one for me would be point slope. So in order to do that, though, I do have to find the slope. So I'm going to say that's x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to substitute in that slope formula. So m equals 36.5 minus 1.5 over x2, negative 5 minus 2. Okay, so if I do that subtraction, 36.5 minus 1.5 is 35. And negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. So if you divide positive 35 by negative 7, you get negative 5. So my slope is negative 5. And like I said, there are multiple ways that you could write this equation. You could then now find the y-intercept and write it in slope-intercept form. Or to go the less work route, you could write that in point slope form. Okay, so remember, point slope is y minus y1 equals x times x minus x1. So in this case, I could say, I pick a point. So if I use that one, and again, this is only an example, I could have used the other point, or I could have put it in a slope-intercept form. I could say y minus 1.5 equals negative 5 parentheses x minus 2. Okay, and again, I could have used that to find the y-intercept, and I could have then wrote my equation in slope-intercept form, but it doesn't ask me how I particularly have to write my equation. I just have to write my equation of the line. Okay, so that is one way of writing the equation of the line that contains those 2 points. Okay. Question B gives me m equals 4, so I know the slope is 4, and the point 315 that lies on the line. So I know if I'm going slope-intercept here, y equals mx plus b, I know that m is 4, so far I have y equals 4x, and then I got to figure out b. So that means I take the y equals mx plus b, and I substitute in the point that I know. So the point I know, the 15 is the y, m is 4, x is 3, and then I don't know b. Then we multiply. So I have 15 equals 4 times 3, which is 12, plus b. Last step, subtract. So I take away the 12 from both sides. 15 minus 12 is 3. 12 minus 12 is 0, and I'm left with b. So my y-intercept is 3. So my equation for part B would be y equals 4x plus 3. Part C says the line that has the same slope as y equals 1. So before we go any further, y equals 1, because there's no x in that, we know that that is a horizontal line. Okay, so we know that all horizontal lines have a slope of 0. And then it says our line has to pass through the point 3, -8. So since it's a horizontal line and it has to have the same slope, it also has to be a horizontal line. So I can set my equation to y equaling the y that it goes through. In this case, the y that it goes through is -8. So my equation there would be y equals -8. Okay. D, I think by far is the easiest, because it gives you your slope and it gives you your y-intercept. So remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So then all I would have to do is substitute or replace those numbers into the slope-intercept form. So I'd have y equals m, which is 2, x plus my y-intercept for b, which is 4. So my equation for part D would be y equals 2x plus 4. Okay. Number 5, it gives you 2 equations to graph on this page, and then 2 equations to graph on the next page. Okay, so if we look at this, the first one is y equals -2/5 x plus 4. So that's in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Remember, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so if we're looking at this one, b is equal to 4. So I can put my first point on 4. Okay. My m, or my slope, is equal to -2/5. Okay, so that means that's the change in y over the change in x, or as sometimes I like to call it, rise over run. So since it's negative, that means I'm going to go 2 lines down and then 5 lines over. So 1, 2 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. That's my next point. 2 lines down, 1, 2, 5 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my next point. And then I can go the opposite direction to fill my line in. So I can go up 2, and then 5 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So then you should be able to take your ruler and connect them. And again, please use your ruler, because as you can tell, mine does not look like a nice straight line because I do not have a ruler on my iPad. Okay. If we're looking at the next one in part C, which is next to it, okay, that gives you an equation in point slope form. Point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. And the point that it goes through then is x1, y1. So in our case here, the point that it goes through would be 6, because it's x minus 6, And then since it's y plus 1, that 1 is really the opposite, which is negative, so it'd be negative 1. So my point that I would start off my equation with would be 6, negative 1. So 6, negative 1 would be right here. And then my slope is 2/3. So that means my change in y is 2 and my change in x is 3. Or my rise is 2 and my run is 3. So since it's positive, I'd go 2 up, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 to the right. Okay, I can't go anymore, so then I would go 2 down and 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the left. Okay, and I can't go any further, so then I would take my ruler and connect my lines and put my arrows on the ends. Okay, for question B, that one is in standard form. And remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. And here, that's where you need to find your x and your y intercept. So to find the x-intercept, it's c over a. So in this case, that would be 12 over negative 6, which gives you negative 2. So then my x-intercept is negative 2, 0. For y, my y-intercept is c over b, which would then be 12 over 3, which gives you 4. So it would be 0, 4. So I would graph those 2 points and then connect them using my ruler. So negative 2, 0 is here, and 0, 4 is here. So if I connect them using my ruler, my line should look something similar to that. My last one is a special case line because, as you notice, there is no x. It just says y equals 1. So that tells you, since there is no x, that that is horizontal through y, where y is 1, which is right here. So my y is 1. My line would be horizontal through there. Again, use your ruler to fill it out. Okay. Number 6, it says Haley sells cakes and cupcakes. The prince, that should say price. Okay, so again, Haley sells cakes and cupcakes. And again, that should say price. The price for each cupcake is X, and the price for each cake is Y. She plans to sell 300 cupcakes and 80 cakes this week and wants to make $1,450 from her sales. Write an equation to represent the situation. Well, she has 300 cupcakes, and each cupcake costs X dollars. So that would be 300 times X. And she's also selling cakes, so plus. And she wants to sell 80 cakes, so 80, and the price of a cake is Y, so 80 times Y, and then that's equal to the total amount she wants to make, which is $1,450. Number 7 says a line has a slope of negative 2/3 and the point negative 6, 2 lies on the line. What is the y-intercept? Okay, so to find the y-intercept, step 1, finding the slope is done for you. That's negative 2/3. So in order to find the y-intercept, you take the point you know and you substitute it into y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b. So my y and the point that's given, negative 6, 2, is 2. My m is my slope, negative 2/3. My x is negative 6. And then I don't know b, so it's plus b. Okay, so then we multiply next. So then that's negative 2/3 times negative 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. So I would get 2 equals, and then 2/3 times 6 is 4 plus b. Lastly, we subtract 4. So 2 minus 4 is -2, and that's equal to b. So my correct answer there should be b equals -2. Last page of the study guide, question number 8 gives you a table, and it gives you an equation in standard form, 4x plus 2y equals -8, and wants you to fill in the x and the y-intercept. So again, the x-intercept is when it's c over a. So c is -8 over 4, which gives you -2. So I'm going to put that in as my x. My y-intercept is c over b, which is -8 over +2, which gives me -4. So my y-intercept is -4. And then it asks me for another point when x is 2. So when x is 2, I have to put that into my equation. So I'd have 4x, so 4 times 2, plus 2y equals -8. The first thing I would do would be simplifying. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2y equals -8. Okay, now I should be able to solve for the value of y. So I want to get rid of the 8 first, because my goal is to isolate the variable. So I subtract 8. 8 minus 8 is 0, so those cancel out. I'm left with 2y. And then -8 minus 8 is -16. Last thing I need to do is get rid of the 2. So I would divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that cancels out. I'm left with y. And then a negative divided by a positive is a negative. And 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I would put my -8 as my value in the table. Okay. Part B, there's no work that you need to do. It's already in the table, and you already did the work. You just have to identify the x and the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is from your table when is 0, -4, and your x-intercept from the table is -2, 0. Part C asks you to use the intercepts to determine the slope of the line. Okay, so I have my intercepts, which is -2, 0, and 0, -4. I label x1, y1, x2, y2. And again, my slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1, y1 over x2 minus x1. So I substitute. Y2 is -4 minus y1, which is 0, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is -2. -4 minus 0 is -4. And 0 minus -2, I use keep, change. So I keep the 0. I change subtraction to addition. And negative becomes positive. So 0 plus 2 is 2. And then I can simplify. -4 divided by 2 is -2. Part D, I don't have to do anything for that one either, because it's asking me to use the table to identify a third point. The third point is the other line in the table that is not the x or the y-intercept. So in that case, that would be the point 2, -8. Okay. And then part E asks you to use the points to graph them. So I'm going to put all 3 points on there. -2, 0 is here. 0, -4 is down here. And then 2, -8 is down here. And then again, I would use my ruler to connect them all the way across my graph paper. Again, please make sure that you're preparing for this test. We will be doing the map test on the days immediately when I return, which would be Monday and Tuesday of next week, the 5th and the 6th of December. And then we will be taking the test on this study guide on Wednesday the 7th. So if you do have any questions that this video does not answer, again, please make sure that you contact me and talk to me on Monday or Tuesday so we can get you clarification so that you understand what each question is asking you to do so you're prepared to do well on this test, which is the last test of second quarter. Okay? Have a great weekend.